Uh, I'm Tom Dollars. This is my GDQ submission video. Uh, this is this is Super Mario 3D World for the Switch. Sorry, messing up my menuing a bit. This was released earlier this year, alongside Bowser's Fury, and this is actually has some key differences between it and its predecessor on the Wii U. So try to show those off. And of course, I'm submitting this as a race alongside my good friend movefish. So first thing we're gonna do is grab this bell, and then we're gonna grab this star, and we're just gonna skip entering that pipe entirely since it's slow and we don't need it to get past here, and get this star from the money. So the catsuit gives us a few things that are really helpful. It gives us that dive, which is very, very useful, and has quite a few reasons why it's something that we're going to be using throughout this entire run. We don't even need other items except for only a couple times. Other than that, I'll just be using this catsuit. So it has that dive. It has a swipe attack, which is useful, and the swipe also works as a stall in the air. So what makes this game one of my favorite speed games is that it has some very, very fun movement. And the catsuit is part of the reason why it's really fun. So you can use the catsuit to do a lot of really precise movements, since you can use the cat dive to instantly change the direction of your momentum. You can do that little rollout on the ground there, build up a lot of speed pretty fast. And other reason why I like the movement is because in this game, we're going to be doing a lot of bunny hopping. And the reason why that's something that is used in this game is because this game's pretty unique among 3D Mario games. And that, well, it's not unique in the fact that when you jump in the air, you can keep your momentum. That's something that's in a lot of Mario games, but what is pretty unique about it is that you can actually build up your speed. First through vectoring, which is when you try to move at a diagonal angle, and that'll make you go a little bit faster. Then also, a technique that's unique to this game is called crouch boosting, where when you crouch, your speed will multiply a bit, and then you jump, and you can preserve that speed well as you're in the air until you land, and then you can crouch again and multiply it, and you can imagine doing that a lot, make you go pretty fast. So that's what I try to do a lot. Luigi, he actually has the fastest crouch boost, so I'll be doing a lot of it with him specifically. But every character can do it. It's just Luigi has a really, really fast one. So that's what I'm doing right now. Kind of hard to tell that I'm doing it. If you look closely, Luigi is on the ground, sliding a bit. Sliding out of the crouch. So yeah, and you can build up as much speed as you want. There's no limit. So that makes some levels look pretty crazy. And it opens the door to a lot of really fun routing. And hopefully I'll be able to show that off throughout this run. So as I said before, you can skip the intro cutscene along with some other ones that we'll see. But what I'm about to show off in this level is another difference between this game and its predecessor. The run speed is a lot faster in this game. And as you can already tell, I've been using different characters. I'm going to use Toad now, and I'm using Toad because of his run speed's the fastest of any character, and I'm just going to be running across this whole section, using that plant to grab that star. And this ends up being pretty fast. much easier than doing a lot of crouch boosting with Luigi, and a lot of the time not even really slower. So, and if you're wondering, so every level so far, we've collected 3 green stars. Having a little bit of trouble. So the reason why I'm collecting green stars is because if you play this game, if you've played this game, then you would know that in order to beat it, you will have to collect a certain number of green stars to unlock some levels. Specifically, the last level of World 7 will need 130 stars, and then we'll need 170 for the last level in the game. Also, there's another level that you need 80 to unlock. So we'll be doing that one too. So most of these levels that we're going to see, I'll be collecting all the green stars. Because, as you would imagine, it wouldn't really be fast to just do a ton of levels and get 1 green star in each. Normally it ends up being faster to just get all the green stars in every level that I do. Especially because this game is pretty linear, unlike some other 3D Mario games like Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine. And you don't have to go too far off the path to get most green stars. There are some that are exceptions, like in this level, I'm not getting the 2nd star, because that one, it takes you to a room, and you have to step on a bunch of different squares, and it's just not very fast. Which actually, Wii U run, I believe, does it. I actually did not do runs on Wii U. I've played a little bit, done a few levels on it, but I only started seriously speedrunning when this version came out. Movefish, Dan, who I'm submitting with, he actually did do runs on the Wii U. So this is the first mystery house of the run. Mystery houses, they're some very, very fast time challenges, and where each one gives you a green star. And the theme in the World 2-1 is that you're just killing a bunch of enemies. So you get 5 green stars for that, where most levels only give you 3. This one's really short, and it gives you 5. So it's very, very useful in any percent. We're going to be going to every mystery house we can. There are 3 more throughout the game. And 2 of them actually have 10 stars instead of 5. So yeah, this one we have to fight the Galoombas very fast. I believe 195 is actually the fastest in-game time you can get there. I normally get one slower than that. So you might not have noticed it there, but I had the cursor there, and I was using the cursor to stun the Galoombas and then swipe them. And this makes it so that I only have to swipe them 1 time instead of 2 like I normally do. And another difference between this and the Wii U version is that this cursor right here, can also break some blocks with it. This cursor is controlled through gyro controls. On Wii U, you would use it on the gamepad touchscreen, which was a little less than ideal. Let's just say that's a pretty significant reason why I never ended up doing runs of the original game. I must say I like gyro controls much better. And that's actually very useful in the run. I'll use it for a few different purposes. Alright, so for this one, I need 4 toads. Not actually. I did need to get 2 for one of the stars, but controlling the double cherry is not ideal for a speedrun. Luckily for that one, you don't need 4 as the game intended to do. You can just climb up the wall. That's actually the only time that I'll really need a double cherry. I will use it in a couple boss fights just for safety, because if one of them takes damage, I won't lose my catsuit. I'll show that off later. And here comes the first auto-scroller of the run. There are, I'd say, 3 major auto-scrollers. There are some other ones that have some pretty cool skips, actually. So they're a lot more interesting than this, but there's nothing we can do here but just let these tanks go by. So definitely be a good time during a marathon run to read donations. So I can use the cursor here to stun these guys. Make them run into each other. Yeah, not much to talk about. I will have to get this cannonball for the 3rd star. If I lose this, then I'll have to get a backup star later in the run. Which hopefully I don't have to do, because I don't practice a lot of backup stars. I mostly plan to just not make silly mistakes like that in runs. And yeah, there's the 1st star. Gonna be another one in a box, and then one at the very end where I have to blast a wall with this thing. Yeah, again, just not much to talk about here. This would definitely be a time during a run where I would not have... There would not be much for either me or my co-commentators to say anything. They're just... And same is the case for the 2 other major auto-scrollers in this run. They won't happen for a while. But they exist. They're long and boring. One of the more significant flaws of this game is a speed game. So yeah, there's that wall. And I can actually grab it with the cannonball, which is pretty nice. And here's the first boss fight. This is Boom Boom. I have to jump on his head. And yeah, I want to jump on his head as fast as possible there. And he's invincible in this shell. I could even try to shoot him. Wouldn't really do anything. But now watch this. He's invisible now. Ooh, pretty scary. I actually think it's pretty hard to see him most of the time. Oh. That's unfortunate. I took damage. That'll cost me a 1-up. Yeah, luckily since I had the cannon box, I still have my catsuit. And there we go. The first fairy that we'll be saving. Of course, we did do a warp in 1-2. If you're wondering when we'll go back to save the fairy in World 1, we won't. Don't need to do that. It's not a requirement to beat the game. If it was, that would make the run probably less exciting, because World 1's just not that exciting of a world. So I skipped that cutscene right there. Again, another cutscene skip exclusive to the Switch version. And here comes a very interesting level, where I'm going to use a trick that is only seen here. As I mentioned before, crouch boosting. If you crouch in this game, it'll multiply your speed. But unfortunately, you can't just crouch repeatedly, because you can't crouch out of a crouch. On normal ground, that is. When you're on ice, for some reason, you can do just that. And it does work. As you probably hope, it does work like that. So I'm going to mash the crouch button, and I'm going to build up a ton of speed. That one was actually a little slow. Could have been better. But I can cover that huge gap. And yeah, this level is very, very fast. I would highly recommend that you check out the IL record for this level, where they just beat the level without collecting anything, or use Toad with the Tanuki suit, and he builds up much more speed than I did there. And he can just fly all the way from the beginning to the pipe at the end. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the only ice level in this run, so we don't get to do that anymore, because that's a very, very fun glitch to do. And now here is 3-3, the Ghost House. Not too much to say here. Little tricky, not too hard. Got a bad roll there. You want to start dashing before you do a rollout. Makes it faster for whatever reason. And yeah, do some crouch boosting. Also, when you jump on a moving surface, your momentum is preserved there. So when I do crouch boosts off of a conveyor belt like that, I'm gonna go even faster. Oh no. Had to go around there and not take damage. Did not mean to bonk. And I'm gonna jump on this pipe so I get enough height to get up here and go straight to that door. And that 1-up was fake. Really unfortunate. I really needed that 1-up. So yeah, I'm gonna do some more crouch boosts here to get enough speed to get up there. Fortunately, I had a bit of trouble grabbing the wall. And I take that pipe. Just kidding, it makes a star appear. It's a fake pipe. Very tricky level, and there we go, there is the end. What? What was that? Ah, flagpole's fake. I'm sure that got some of you when you, if you played this game before. It really tricked you. It makes it a lot more apparent that it's fake when you move the camera like I did. And here comes the first Captain Toad level. So Captain Toad levels are kind of like mystery houses. Every even number world has a mystery house, and then every odd number world has a Captain Toad. And mystery houses can have 5 stars or 10 stars. Captain Toads all have 5 stars, which is a lot of stars. A 5's a lot of stars already. 10's just a ton, but because of that, we're going to be doing every Captain Toad. Some people, not too big on Captain Toad. I think it's kind of boring. I personally like these levels. I think they're a little fun. You can do a few cool things to, like, preserving your speed and cutting a lot of tight angles, cutting corners a bit like that. The better example up here in a bit. After I grab this 4th star. So I can just cut that corner right there. Very easy, actually. And it's a decent amount of walking. And there we go. Just have to get all 5 stars, and that's it. Pretty easy level. Oh, 334. That's, I'm pretty sure that's the... Actually, it's probably not the fastest possible, but it's definitely the fastest I've ever gotten. I know there are a few ways you can optimize it, save very, very small amounts of time. Warp back to World 3 because it's faster than taking the pipe, and now we're going to be going back to Peach. So I think I forgot to explain the characters besides Toad. No, I explained Toad and Luigi. So Peach, she doesn't jump too high, she's not too fast, but she does have that float. And float is nice because you can preserve your momentum in the air, and as I explained earlier, having a lot of momentum in the air is very important. So she can control in the air better than anyone else because you can kind of redirect it with float. You can redirect it without losing it. And that's very useful in a lot of levels. Some levels, a lot of runners will use Peach, even though it'd be optimal not to use Peach, myself included, actually. Peach just controls a lot better than other characters because of her float, and she's a little bit easier, and normally not much slower if she is slower. Also, she can cover very large gaps, as we'll see in some, actually in a level coming very, very soon. This level right here one of the most boring levels. I would say actually, aside from the auto scrollers, this is the most boring level in this run. Reason why is because water movement in this game is not interesting. Do a few crouch boosts on land here, go a little fast, but that's really it. And I bounced on the cheap sheep. That is not what you want to do. A little faster to take that pipe than just mash A like I'm doing right now. And grab this star, do a dive right here so I can skip moving in the water. And we'll only be collecting one star here. One more star, that is. You can't do... There aren't a bunch of tricks that you can do in this level. Uninteresting. And there's the last star. Luckily though, the level that comes after this is one of my personal favorites. It's the one I was talking about earlier, where we'll really get to show off what you can do with Peach's float along with cat swipes. And this one's hard, so don't be surprised if I mess it up, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of cat momentum, which is another word for just diving and then sometimes swiping before I land and then just jumping out of there. Do a lot of cat momentum, a lot of crouch boosts, so it's a little bit faster to use the cursor to activate the switchboards. So normally you have to ride on these switchboards a lot, but we don't need to do that thanks to... Oh, that was a bit of a mistake. Yeah, so when you crouch close to the edge, sometimes you'll slide off the edge, which is exactly what I did there. And it'll make you go fast, but you won't get any air on your jump, which I do need a jump there if I want to make this cross this gap. That's happens. Well, one of those I messed up the crouch boost by crouching too early and doing a ground pound, and the other one I did a long jump, which is very easy to do when you crouch boost, because that just means that you forgot that you didn't let go of crouch in time. Also, another reason why Switch runs different is crouch boosting is much easier than it was in the Wii U version, because you can map your controls on the Switch. So the way I do it is I've set it so crouch is on my R button and jump is on my ZR button, and then because of that I just slide my finger from R to ZR and I can get very consistent crouch boosts. Missed that star. But I still mess them up sometimes, as you could clearly see earlier. And here's some more skips. You do have to go over a death plane there. A little scary, but not too bad. And normally you have to ride these to get down, but as you could probably guess, you can just fly all the way to there, do a swipe. I did do a late swipe there, so a bit of a mistake. But it didn't really cost me very much. Fortunately, we are about a minute behind, thanks to an unfortunate death. Or 2 deaths, actually. But as I said, that level is one of the most dangerous levels. Even if it's not the hardest, it's one of the scariest. Because if you make a tiny mistake there, you die. And there's a lot of places to make mistakes where you die. So yeah, not too bad that I lost time there. Bit unfortunate. So right here, this is another auto-scroller level, but as you can see right there, I can use Peach and Cat Momentum, and I can cross these very large gaps. And I'm gonna cross it 2 times. What that does is it advances the auto-scroller, which saves time, and I can go straight to Toad. So yeah, collecting a couple stars along the way, and that makes this level much faster, and it also makes the level fun. It's very, very important. This it takes it from being one of the most boring levels in the run to being a very, very fun level. Oh wow, I missed the early hit there. You want to do a rollout there before she teleports away, and you can hit her before she teleports. But I messed that up, so I had to wait for her. So that cost me a bit of time. But we're out of here anyways. And there we go. That's the end of World 3. There are 5 more worlds to go. But before we get to World 4, there's a little surprise coming up. Bowser's got a surprise level. Spoiler, it's a boss fight. One of the more fun boss fights, as I'll try to show off in a bit. So first, I'm going to try to do a pretty cool technique. Oh, wow. I messed that up really badly. What I wanted to do was do a long jump and then carry that momentum into the cutscene and then do a spin jump onto his head, but I can't do that. So in this game, compared to the Wii U version, the jump height's actually smaller. So you can't do the strat that you would do in Wii U, where you would do a spin jump onto his head. However, in this game, you can do a dive out of a ground pound, kind of like in Odyssey. And that's a new change that was not in 3D World. So because of that, you can actually get enough height by just doing a ground pound jump and then doing that. Doing a dive. So that makes the fight much faster than the intended way, where you have to wait for these snakes to come up and then climb the top of them and jump onto his head from there. Could have been a little better had I gotten that jump. Thankfully, we will get another chance. So I will have to fight another Histocrat. And here we go to World 4. So this first one, we're gonna go back to Peach. I believe Luigi actually can be a little bit faster here. I think movefish might even use Luigi in runs. Oh wow, that was a mistake. Normally you try to beat the ant there, but I guess I wasn't quick enough. I can do these rolls, by the way, and just go straight through these ants. Makes this part a lot faster. Messed up that crouch boost. And go into this pipe, get this star. Very easy. And then now, this was the hardest part of this level. So I have to grab this star, climb up to here, dive, take damage, jump, and then I have my cat momentum still, even though I took damage, so I'm able to make that jump. And now just finish the level, itemless, just like that. This is the first time since the very beginning of the run now, where we do not have a cat suit. What will we do about this? I don't know. Kidding, I have another cat suit. That's what I'm gonna do. Mess that up. So, if you've watched a Wii U run, and you should be familiar with warp in this level. Kind of like we did in 1-2. There's a warp in this level, and we are not going to use it. And I will explain why a little later. There's a very, very good reason for that. So we're going to go up here. So there's a stamp up here. We're going to try not to grab the stamp, because it actually loses time thanks to a cutscene at the end of the level that plays whenever you get a stamp. Also, I'm going to collect that bell. There's a very easy visual cue to get it, even though the thing is rolling through all the items. There's a very easy visual cue. Just click on it whenever Peach lands on the ground. And yeah, it's always good to have that backup catsuit. So yeah, we do that level collecting all 3 stars. And this is a very big route change from the Wii U version. Like I said, there's a very good reason for that. And we'll explain in a few levels. First, here are some things that you won't see in the Wii U any percent run. First, this fight. I actually find to be pretty fun. You can do a few things to make it fast. Whoops. Is not the right button. Yep, that was horrendous. But you want to throw the... I think they're called Brolders. I don't know if those are called Brolders or only the big guy is, but throw them at another one, and then it kills it. So you can use that, make that a little bit faster. But you don't want to lose the catsuit like I did there. That was pretty bad. Luckily, I'll be able to get another backup catsuit very soon. Not in this level, though. This level, pretty fun level, I would say. Cool movement at the beginning. I messed that up a bit. Messed that up too. There is something very cool towards the end of this level that I'm excited to show off. First, we'll have to go into this mystery box and collect the last star. So you can see that platform, a mushroom. That's a trampoline platform, and it starts moving when you jump on it. So it's a bit of an auto-scroller, and obviously we do not like auto-scrollers in this run. We try to avoid them whenever possible. So we just go across without it. All thanks to cat momentum and Peach float. And fortunately we got fireworks there. You get fireworks whenever your timer ends in a 1-3 or a 6, and you lose about 1.5 seconds. Pretty annoying. So it's actually faster to just wait an in-game second, which is actually about 3/4 of a real-life second. Just wait an in-game second and then grab the flagpole, but it's hard to be paying attention to that while also speedrunning the game. I'll get fireworks every once in a while. Alright, so here is why we had to keep going. This mystery house. This mystery house has 10 stars, unlike the one World 2, and we want every single one of those. And in the Wii U version, you actually do go to this mystery house, but you don't go to it through World 4. You actually, at the very end of the, not quite the very end, but in the last world of the run, there's an out of bounds glitch in the map, and use that to fall from the sky onto the mystery house, and you can access it without ever having to do 4-4 or the mini boss that I had to do. Unfortunately, that was patched, which was pretty unfortunate because I thought that was one of the coolest glitches. That was one of the coolest things about the game. I think most of the changes have been good for the game as a speed game, but that's one thing that I wish they would have kept. But yeah, so now we're going to go back to 4-2, and we are going to take the warp. So, almost done with World 4. Like in World 3, it's faster to just warp back. And yeah. So we already collected all the green stars, so I do not have to waste my time on that. So this level will look a little different. Oh, that's too bad. Again, I can just get a catsuit over here. Thankfully, we did not grab the stamp. Having no catsuit made it a little bit harder. And there we go. There's another cat bell. So here's the warp. And there we go. We're done with this world. And now here we go, World 5. The first thing that we'll be doing here is doing this Captain Toad level. And this is probably my favorite Captain Toad level. I'll constantly brag to movefish how I have a better ILPV than he does. I've gotten a 47 and he hasn't. Take a lot of pride in that one. Really had to work hard for it. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Well, this is already kind of bad. So yeah. In the Wii U version, you have to blow into the microphone on the gamepad to move those blocks, which is very, very stupid. Thank God I don't have to do that in this run. That would be terrible. And we can cut this corner here a little faster. Yeah, this one's pretty linear. Route's not very interesting. I got a 51 there. Definitely not my best. And now, so we're going to be going back to World 1, because World 1 also has a Captain Toad that I just skipped entirely. But we weren't able to get there because you have to go past 1-2. You have to beat 1-2 and then do, I think, one more level after it. So, but however, there are these pipes that you can take from World 5 to World 1, and because of that, I can do this one without having to do those other slow World 1 levels. And we do need the stars from here, because, as I mentioned earlier, there is a level where we have to have a certain number of stars, and we'll be coming up on that one very, very soon. And you'll see why we want to do it in any percent. So I made the fast cycle. That's the main way to save time in this level. by hitting that cycle. Pretty easy though. And yeah, that was a solid World 1 Captain Toad. So now we're really finished with World 1. We will not be coming back here. And it's back to World 5. So we need 80 to unlock the level that I was talking about, and we have 79. And to get to that level, we have to just beat this one. Actually, I'm going to use Toad. Toad's a little easier here. Not much slower either. Ooh, and this level is one of my least favorite levels. I know I said 3-5 was boring, and it is. But this one, really boring. Well, it's not really boring as much as it is annoying. I messed that up. You want to throw the shell into there to get the coin, but if you miss your throw, then you get to go in yourself. Mainly, I don't like it because you're forced to play with this camera angle, and it's really hard to see the depth. So it's really annoying. Also, it's pretty easy to take damage right there and lose my catsuit, which would not be fun. But we made it out, thankfully. 5 fun, as I like to call it. 5 fun. Not hurting the run today. I'm going to skip one of the stars, but there's actually a whole nother section of the level. This is the one time we'll see Plessy in this run. Plessy, not very interesting. I'm going to hold forward and maybe dodge a few things. Try not to jump on these guys because they're slower. Oh, that's not what you want to do. That's definitely not fast. So I can actually go around this guy a little bit faster. That's really the only cool thing that I'll be doing in this level. Yeah, just hold forward and wait. Very fun level. 5 fun. Get it? I call it 5 fun because I don't think it's very fun. It's sarcastic. Pretty funny. A little slow. I'm actually ahead of my PB right now. It's pretty nice. Only by a few seconds though. So again, now I have 80, so we can do this level right here. And this level is even shorter than Pretty Plaza Panic. Which, if you remember, was a very, very quick level. It's one of the shortest levels in the game. So we're gonna do this one as opposed to the trapeze level, which is not my favorite level. Ooh. Also, if you hold the stick in any direction when you grab the pole with the catsuit, you'll climb to the top, which loses quite a bit of time, and it can be very, very annoying when you do that, as I did right there. Combine that with the fireworks. Very, very fun stuff. But yeah, we're just gonna finish World 5 as fast as possible. Not quite as fast as possible as still be collecting stars, of course, but no deviations from the normal World 5 route. So the Chargin Chucks, the goal is to hit 5 of them. So that's why that works. I've done that without a catsuit before. It makes it much harder. You can do one of the hits with the cursor, but it's still very annoying. So this level is where I'll probably get to see the most crouch boosting because this one has the most open area of any level in the run. This is a very, very fun level. A little bit of trouble there. So grab this star, and these pipes, you use them to shoot up to the top, and I'm not going to use them at all because that's slow. And at the end of it, Luigi does a little like landing animation, and it's pretty slow, so I'm not going to use that. Rabbit up here. So can't build up a lot of speed until after I get that. And now I'm going to do as many crouch boosts as I possibly can. Go as fast as possible. And made the star cycle. You have to be very, very fast to hit that star cycle. And it's only worth it to go in the pipes if you can get the star cycle. So I would have gone around and just not done the pipes, like, kind of like I did earlier in the level. Also, another thing I should note is with those green coins, where you have to collect 8 green coins to get a star, you can also click on them with the cursor. So I use that quite a bit. Well, we got 2 catsuits again, always nice. This is good because I know World 5 is a little tricky. So this level not as much, but the gimmick in this level is that if I jump, these things will switch, and I already messed up. So because of that, I have the whole route planned out already. So I can use that. I can jump off the wall and land on the platform as it's moving. Kind of cool. So I have to plan out the level around that, and if I mess up like I did earlier, I have to improvise. Not my best, but not terrible. And here comes a pretty difficult level. And I think it's a pretty fun level. I've grinded it quite a bit in practice. Not to brag or anything, but on the spreadsheet, I have the fastest time. But yeah, I mean, it's just a spreadsheet. It doesn't mean anything, right? It's only the fastest. So yeah, I can use Luigi's jump to just clear over all these gaps instead of going around as was the intended way. Just kind of clear over all those gaps. And now I'm going to do some crouch boosting and vectoring. Build up a lot of speed to get to here as fast as possible. Get this mystery box. Also, I'm going to click on that spring guy because after I do that, it means that I can grab him. So I'm going to grab him now. And then I use that spring to get up to the 3rd star up here. And climb through this whole section. And ending was bad. Everything up to the ending was actually quite fast. So there we go. That level's over. It's a little scary, especially the very beginning. So glad it went well. And now this is probably the hardest castle level in the game, I would say. I'm going to be using Peach, and I'm going to be doing a lot of really precise cat dive movements to get around these moving spiky square things. So I might take damage. There is a backup catsuit here, so I might be using that. So have to be pretty quick there to not get smashed. And I'm going to manipulate the camera here, because this thing right here is based on a its cycle starts when it's inside the camera. So I manipulate it so I can get the perfect cycle. And that went well. So I kind of just want to go around here. Not a lot of speed, but it's fine. And didn't take damage there. Sometimes I do take damage there, which is pretty annoying. Oh, wow. I did not expect it to be right in front of me. Anyways, yeah. Now we go to the boss fight. So, despite the fact that I took damage, that went pretty well. This boss fight, so he's gonna fall here. He's gonna fall and I'm gonna jump on him. And I know exactly where he's gonna fall, so I'm gonna just get set up. I'm gonna do my dive as soon as I can. Very easy boss fight. I think he's one of my favorites. My favorite bosses casually, even though his fight's pretty simple. I just like, you know, falling square guy. Alright, that went quite well. Current PB actually lost 2 minutes to this level, so now I'm quite a bit ahead thanks to that. I was actually already ahead, but as you can imagine, I'm up by quite a lot now. Alright, 6-1. Or as I like to call it, 6 fun. This level is a little tough. I'm gonna be doing a lot of jumps around these clear pipes. Pretty tricky. But the end, it's not too bad up until the end. The end is where it gets to be really scary. So I'm gonna go into this pipe and get the star. Probably to get the yellow star in order to get the green star, because you have to be invincible to go past those things. Otherwise, they'll just send you back. And gotta wait for this, and now I go in here, get this star. Alright, now this is where the real level starts. Not right here, actually. There's this little section is very easy. See that little skip? Kind of a skip. Climb up that wall very fast. And this is where it gets to be fun. So right here, what you're supposed to do is you go through all these pipes and get these coins. So I'm gonna try to not enter at all. Ooh, I messed up the end there. I might enter. I don't think I will. Alright, but yeah, I messed up a bit. Not too terribly. So yeah, not going in the pipe is definitely faster. Very tricky movements with the catsuit, and it takes a while to understand where you need to position yourself in order to not enter the pipe. Because if you're even kind of close to it, she'll just get in the pipe, and there's no way out of the pipe once you're in the pipe. And it's very easy to take damage too. I'm on my only catsuit right now, so that would be very bad if I did take damage. Luckily, the level after this one, I can get another catsuit. Oh, actually, I normally do Peach here, but I guess I can show off Luigi, even though I don't have much practice. So Luigi is actually faster than Peach, but I've only learned Luigi because, or I've only learned Peach because Peach is much easier and hardly any slower. So yeah, I have to kill these bullies to get a star. They're a bit of trolls. As you can see, I haven't practiced this one much. I'm used to using Peach. So yeah, I'm gonna correct some mistakes. Alright, he's dead, and there we go. So I survived using Luigi. Not faster than I can do with Peach. But yeah. Not worth it to reset the level. Be even slower to reset the level and then use Peach and then get a perfect one. So I made the right choice, just playing it out. And now we can get another catsuit. So this level is on a global cycle. There's a cycle that I'm going to try to catch at the end. And it's pretty easy to catch. I say it's easy, but this is a level that I mess up quite a bit. My PB actually lost a minute here due to some pretty silly mistakes. Actually, probably more than a minute now that I think about it. That was a bad angle. Shouldn't matter though. Again, I'm only losing time if I miss the cycle at the end. In which case I'd be losing a lot of time. Enter this pipe right at 378, or I guess I'm a little slow. So I can land on the moving platform. And now I have to get another star by doing these green coins. Very fast. And I made the cycle. So there is one more star at the very end. I'm gonna do a cap momentum jump off this platform, like that, to get to the wall, and then grab the star, and go in the box, and there we go. That's the end of the level. Again, saving a lot of time over my PB. It's a pretty good run so far, actually. Even though I did lose a minute to 3-7. Aside from that, it's gone quite well. It wasn't meant to be a serious attempt, just a submission video to show off what a run might look like. But if I PB this run, then I'll take it. Fine with me. So this guy, I'm going to do this roll out and push him into there. And then he comes back out. And I can hit him. Normally you have to hit him a bunch of times, but when I do the rollout, then I'm already hitting him a few times, and that's enough to push him in the pipe. That boss fight's over really fast. Much faster than I did it when I played casually. And so 6-6, there is a pretty cool jump. You'll get to see. Not a terribly hard level though. I'm just gonna climb up to the top of this thing. A lot of climbing. Good level to have the catsuit in. So yeah, I'm just gonna climb to the top as fast as I can. And grab the star. I missed my jump. Miss it again. Alright. There we go. Yeah. Very important that I don't mess that up, obviously, because I could die. Don't usually have that much trouble, so a little embarrassing, but not too bad. I missed that jump too. So now I'm going to go up here and dive this last star and climb up to here, and there's the flak bolt. That was pretty slow, unfortunately. And we got the fireworks too. Alright, so here's another big auto-scroller. Except this auto-scroller goes from being a bad level to being one of my favorite levels, thanks to the fact that you're allowed to go off screen, and once you get to a certain point, it'll trigger an auto advance in the auto scroller. So I'm gonna do the whole first section of this level blind. So be quiet and focus. And there we go, I got it. And I do have to grab this star before the fuzzy guys come and kill me. Thankfully, worked fine. And that beginning part is really the only scary part. I can climb up here to advance the auto-scroller again. There's another strat to advance it another time that I'm not going to do. Actually, I meant to jump up into this little room behind these things, but I'm not really losing much time to it. The fastest strat actually is to get to the very end of there so the auto-scroller moves, and then you go back for the star, but that's too scary for me to do, so I didn't go for it. Majority of runners will not even attempt that in runs because it's just really scary. Yeah, that went quite well. I didn't really lose much time in the end there, even though it looked like I messed up, because even if I got into the little opening with the star, I would have had to wait for the auto-scroller to reach the star. Again, that's why it's better to advance the auto-scroller first, because you can't grab the star until it's on screen. So this level's kind of just stupid. Because you can grab the star with the balls. Oh, wrong. Thought it was a different room. My bad. I do have to do this one legit. Throw the ball over there. But I just click right there, and there we go. And then I missed that one. Huh. I can basically just cheese this whole level with the cursor. It's kind of stupid. And here comes another auto-scroller. This is the worst one we have left. So again, in a marathon run, definitely a good time to read donations, because this level's much like 2 Castle, in that I'm just gonna be waiting for these tanks to roll by, and there's not much I can do. I can collect some stars, I can kind of click on some things, mess around, but there's really not much to be said. Oh, let's not hit these guys. And we're about to hit a very long stretch of no catsuits, so I'm gonna really, really want to not take damage. Even if I do lose a catsuit though, I can just reload the last save. The game auto-saves the last level I was on. Alright, so I do need this bomb to get a star. Oh no. Okay, never mind. I thought I missed it. That would have been really bad. Also, I can actually advance the auto-scroller a bit right here. Oh no, there goes my first catsuit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go through much of World 7 without a catsuit. We're with only one catsuit. And I can advance the auto-scroller again, enter the pipe. And now we get to fight Boom Boom again. And this one, as uninteresting as the first one. Yeah, very long stretch of no catsuits. I might have to do some reloading if some of these levels don't go the way I want them to. Kind of has that little, like, teleporting thing in this fight, but fight's still just as uninteresting as it was before. Yeah. Not a fun boss fight. Not a hard boss fight, but not a fun one. There are some boss fights that I like, but that's not one of them, nor is the one that is coming up very soon. So, like at the end of World 3, we're gonna be doing this before we get to the next world. This time it'll be a different boss though. You'll see in a sec. I didn't need a long jump there. It's kind of practice for next time I fight Histocrat. So, like I said earlier, there is one time where I would want to get a cherry, and that time is right now. Because if I were to get hit normally, I would lose my catsuit. But if one of these guys gets hit, he'll just disappear, and the other one will keep his catsuit. I guess we're gonna have 3. I'll try to get rid of one of them by taking damage. They're too close together. It's hard to get hit with one of them. Oh wow, that's really bad. All right, I'll have to get extra cat suits then. Why? There's no reason for me to do that. Just kind of messing around now. Yeah, I will have to get extra cat suits, unfortunately. Not a huge deal. My best option is to go to the mushroom house in World 5. Fortunately though, it means that I'll have to pick the right box. Yeah, catsuit, as I said earlier, very important. Definitely worth pausing everything so I can get another one. It's just that useful. And there we go. There's a catsuit. So hopefully this one will get us to 7-5 when we can get another one. And yeah, we are losing quite a bit of time to doing that, but it's worth it. Be losing even more time by just continuing itemless probably, especially because me itemless, let's just say, you know, I haven't really practiced itemless. Oh wow. Alright, now we'll have to reload. Pretty slow. I don't know what I normally die on, so pretty disappointing. But World 7, the rest of the run is quite difficult actually. Only to go in that box, 'cause we can just use Peach and Katsu to just go across. And there's the star. We do only collect 2 stars in this level. And now normally I'd have to kill this Fire Bro to get another box, but like before, I don't need to use that. Ooh, a little closer than I would have liked, but we got it. So yeah, I'm probably losing around a minute and a half or so. Not too catastrophic, but pretty unfortunate. Here's a pretty fun level. Another one of those 100-second levels. And the theme of this one is speed, so they give you a lot of boost pads. So in order to go as fast as possible, I'm going to try to avoid them when I can. Because they actually make you go slower. I can go a lot faster just by using my good friends vectoring and crouch boosting. These spark can be a little annoying with these spiky things. It's like we made it out of this one. Made it out of this one just fine. And with a gold split as well, actually. In case you were wondering, I am still close to 3 minutes ahead of my PV. So 7-4, I think this is one of the hardest levels in this run. This level is very difficult. Lots of stupid things. Especially the third star. Let me tell you about the third star. It is a troll. First I'm going to try to build up a lot of speed. I got a lot of space to do crouch boosts. Unfortunately that did not go as well as I had intended. So a little slow. I'm going to collect all these with the cursor. Oh. I'm going to have to reload again. Yeah, like I said, very hard level. Bound to happen. There are quite a few hard levels left, unfortunately. Hopefully now I can actually show off just how much speed you can build. There we go. There we go. That was fast. So, pretty tricky jumps here, especially if I'm crouch boosting, because, you know, I risk long jumping and dying. And this part. Yeah, basically every one of these jumps that I do, I'm doing it knowing that I could just long jump and die at any moment. Which, as you can imagine, makes this a little scary. Oh, I missed the star. The reason why that star's so annoying is because when you're going fast, you'll usually be on cycle to hit the spikes. Alright, still 2 minutes ahead. This run's still pretty good, although there's not too much time to save from here on out, especially in World 8. I think I could probably save some time before the end of this world. And Brolder. So this boss fight is actually kind of hard. Casually, he's very, very easy. But what I want to do here is I want to preserve every single one of these guys to the very end. I don't think that's going to work. He destroyed that one. Because then I can just throw it as soon as he's done with that attack. But since one of them disappeared, I have to wait for him to spawn more, which takes quite a bit of time. So ideally I'd be hitting him right now. But now I get to wait for him to roll a bit and spawn some new guys, and he's dead. So, bit of time lost there, but that's pretty tricky to get in one cycle. Alright, this level is very annoying because I'm going to be doing a lot of really, really precise maneuvering around these electric guys, and they're pretty annoying. So another use for vectoring is right here. I'm going to do a long jump at an angle, and then I'm going to hold up left, and I'm actually going to get more distance than if I just went straight, which really doesn't make any sense, but that's how the game works. Ooh, and I have to wait for him. Unfortunate. And yeah, now we get to go all the way back down. When you get that coin at the top, then it's poison gas stuff starts coming down. So now I gotta beat that to the bottom, which is normally quite easy, thankfully. And there we go. This will take me to the flagpole. End of the level. And I climbed it. So now, for the last time we'll get to see Captain Toad. And this one's pretty tricky. This is a cycle-based one, kind of like the World 1 Captain Toad, but I can kind of manipulate the cycles with the touch controls. Because there's going to be a lot of thwomps, and I can stop the thwomps by holding them. This one is pretty tricky. The beginning, at least, is pretty hard. If you can get around the beginning well, then the rest of the level's normally pretty easy. Alright. It can be pretty hard to not get hit by those bullet bills. And you want to get hit by them so then you can damage boost later. Also, I'm going to hold this guy here so that I can run across him. Oh, I barely missed that cycle. That's really unfortunate. That'll lose me quite a bit of time. So yeah. The reason why I want to be able to take a hit there, and I'm keep running against the wall because I can keep at top speed, but unfortunately I had to stop there to not hit the bullet bill. So I didn't get the fastest cycle there. I got the second fastest, which loses I think around 6 seconds. Pretty annoying, but especially because of how close I was, but there are worse things that can happen. Alright, 7-7. This is maybe the level that I have the most trouble with in this entire run. More so than 7-4, probably. Because it is hard. Especially to do fast, because towards the... Oh! Wow. Alright, I don't think I can get the first cycle then. What you want to do is you want to jump across here. And it's possible to get to that green platform if you have enough speed, but I'd lost most of my speed and I wasn't confident in that working. So this part's pretty tricky as well, especially because these lava monsters will one-shot you. I could just go in the pipe, but you know, that's slower. Can't be doing slow stuff. Oh, wow. That's very annoying. Almost beat the level too. At the very end. That's really unfortunate. Like I said, very hard level. Oh, wow. Thankfully, if I don't die and I just take damage, I can just do try again. If you've already died and you do try again, then you won't get your item back. Alright, I did make the first cycle there, so that's good. Again, like I said, one of the levels that I find to be the hardest. In fact, I practiced it quite a bit earlier so that hopefully this wouldn't happen as I was doing this run, but stuff happens, I guess. So yeah, I'm losing close to a minute and a half. Again, you know, this can still PB. I am still ahead, although not by much at this point. Can't say for sure because I actually, in my PB, I didn't split at 7-7, so we'll see at the end of this level. Also, this level has a pretty funny boss fight. But first, we're going to have to play through the rest of the level. And the first thing that we do is we're going to do something that you won't see again for the rest of the run. We're going to use an item that isn't the cat suit. And I'll show you why in a second. Actually, that's not true. I will be using another item. It won't be the boomerang, but you'll see. Oh, wow. I don't think I need that. This level after this one will have a catsuit for me. Fortunately, though, I cannot clear this gap without a catsuit. So I will have to fight these guys in order to activate this bridge. Alright, so this fight right here, this one's pretty funny. I'm gonna just go over the side and hide my little turtle shell. And I can use these touch controls to send these soccer balls back immediately. And normally in this fight, you have to do a lot of hits. But for some reason, if you do the hits fast, then you don't have to hit him as many times. So I want to hit him as fast as I can, and hopefully only do this in 3 hits. If you played this casually, you might have had to do, like, I don't know, around 7 or 8. I just remember when I played it feeling like this fight was endless, because I have to hit him a ton of times, but very fast boss fight in a speed run. Odd design choice, but that's how it works. And there are all the fairies, minus the ones that we didn't save because we don't have to. Oh, I'm up by a lot more than I thought I was. I'm actually a couple minutes ahead. About 2.5. And it looks like we beat the game, but I don't think we did. He's back? I thought we killed him. How he's got all of them back. Just went through all that just for him to take them back immediately. Now we got that big pipe right there. I have to fight him again. Amusement park? Huh? There's a whole nother world to do. Alright, so this level I can get 2 catsuits. Which is nice. This is also one of the hardest levels in the run. But I can't do it the way I normally would, because I didn't start with the catsuit. Hopefully the rest of the level I'll be able to show off. Having a little bit of trouble, so I'm going to try to build up a lot of speed here, and I can clear this gap and get to this box. This box I do have to go in, like the last one. There's another bell. Might come in handy. And this movement with Luigi is very tricky, because Luigi is much more slippery than Peach. Ah, there goes one of our bells. There is a... I can't grab the flagpole. So, the reason why this is scary, I don't need another catsuit. But if I mess up one of the harder tricks of the run later on, then I'll have to reload. I wouldn't have to reload if I had another catsuit. I would just be able to try again after I die. So I would have wanted that catsuit there. As long as I play well, it won't matter. Here comes another one of my least favorite levels. So as you can see, there's all these circular cookie-shaped platforms. And they can be really, really janky because of these weird shapes that they have. But starting off very, very well so far. Ooh. Yeah, also the fact that these are moving. I can stop that one and get it this nice jump off of it. My cursor. And this starts pretty annoying. So I'm going to wait a bit and I'm going to jump over here and dive and hopefully grab the star. Fortunately, it's not look like I landed on the star, but not very punishing to mess up. And oh, here's the rest of the level. Here's something pretty cool. Ah, I messed it up. Never mind. I guess we won't get to see it. I was gonna try to go around that back wall and grab the flagpole. It's very slightly faster. Largely insignificant time save, but it's a time save. Alright, and finally, we have the last auto-scroller. Not as long as the 6th castle, but it's another train, like at the end of World 3, except there aren't 2 trains where I can jump across them to speed up the auto-scroller. I just kind of have to wait for the train to go by. This one's boring. It's the last. I promise this is the last boring level left in the run. From here on out, the run is very exciting. You could hopefully see in 8-1 that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show off all my platforming skills in 8-1, but lots of very cool platforming. I had messed up the coin block. So yeah, there's a few stars to grab, but like that's all I'm really doing here. There's another one with coins. I'm gonna grab these coins. I don't know. It's again like the other auto scrollers. Ideal time to read donations would be right now. Definitely, this is probably the last slow section left of the run. A little trouble getting there. And now we'll fight Pom Pom again. Hopefully I'll get that first hit that I messed up before. And I did get it. Nice. It's pretty easy. I hardly ever mess it up, so I was pretty surprised that I did earlier in the run. Oh, wow. I need to get another catsuit now. That was a very, very silly mistake. Grabbing that time actually loses time because when you get your points for the time left, if there's more time, it'll take longer. So I did not want to grab that. Another tiny mistake. Alright, I'm gonna have to go back to World 1 to get a catsuit here. Which is not fast at all. Not what I want to be doing in a speed run. But it's what I'm gonna have to do. Because I cannot do 8-4 without one. And I especially cannot do 8-6 without one. Because I'll show you why, hopefully in a bit. Because I'm gonna do a pretty tough skip. So I'm gonna grab 2 bells and then die immediately. And the one that I have stored will stay here, so I can just exit the course and I'll hang on to that. Alright, so for 8-4, I'm going to try to show off some very tricky movement, which is why I'm going to make sure to save first. That I don't have to go back to get a catsuit again. So this one is another one where you can build up a very large amount of speed. Ooh, looks like I already messed it up. Did not go great. Yeah, there's a pretty new strat for the first star that I had found not that long ago, only a few days ago. And it's very difficult, but it's quite fast if you can do it, which I've only done it perfectly a handful of times. Ooh, you want to grab the wall, actually, not the thwomp. So, it wasn't great. I need to get more speed than that to get across here. There we go. Alright, that was pretty slow, especially because I had to get a catsuit. So, I'm now only about a minute ahead of my PB. And here we go, 8-6. So here, this is one of the scariest levels, especially with one catsuit, because what I'm going to try at the end of the level, if I don't have a catsuit, I can't do. But first, I'm going to have to skip this first auto-scroller. Normally you have to ride on this platform, but Peach can make this jump. Or, Peach should be able to make the jump. Doesn't look like I did it very successfully there. That's not even the hard part of the level. So, yeah. We're gonna have to lose quite a bit of time to that. I say that's not the hard part of the level, but it's definitely a hard part of the level. Because you really have to time these swipes right, because you can't buffer a swipe. You have to wait for the last swipe to end before you use another. Ooh, I messed up that one pretty bad. And then I can skip this auto-scroller too. There's a lot of auto-scrollers in this level, and I'm going to be skipping most of them. You probably guess, but the real tricky one comes at the very end. And that one I'm pretty scared of. If I mess that one up, then I have to reload this entire level. But first I have to do this. This star is kind of annoying. You want to be able to do it in just 2 cycles like I did there. I have a pretty consistent setup for it. Ooh. So when you get out of that door, you can actually do a jump immediately, but I mistimed it, so I didn't get it. So this is one of the trickier things in this run. You have to bounce on these dry bones, and we got it, first try. There we go. So that's called candle skip, because I had to jump on the candle, get set up at the beginning, before I dove onto the dry bones, and then I just carry that momentum across the entire level. And there it is. So yeah, very relieved to have that one out of the way. Fortunately, now I'm within a minute of my PB, so this run might not be able to be a sub 145 yet. Might have messed it up too badly for that. Which is okay. Still a decent run. And here we go to the last mystery house. So the theme of this mystery house is catsuit. And I can actually get a backup suit here. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through these little obstacle courses with the catsuit. Use some dives. Also dive through these blocks with the cat dive. Ooh. Accidentally clipped inside of the block there. We should be fine. Yeah. Did something a little risky there. I tried to go right in the middle of the block so that once one disappeared, I could start climbing on the other one. So I have to hit these ones away first. And then climb up. And now these things will start falling when I climb on them. But this is not exactly what I'd consider difficult. Gives you plenty of time. So there we go. That's that. And then now Now I'll be doing another very hard skip. So this is the last true level of the run, and it's quite one to end on. Again, another level with a lot of auto-scrollers. Another level where we'll be skipping auto-scrollers with some very tricky platforming. So this first part, decently difficult. I gotta land on that. There we go, just fine. And there. I'm gonna grab this Tanuki, and then I'm gonna grab a cat bell. So you'll see why I'll use the Tanuki. This is the last time I'll be using an item for real this time. And I'm gonna need this checkpoint. So I'm gonna go all the way across here. I use that cat dive, and I can carry my momentum into when I fly with the Tanuki suit, and hopefully cross this entire gap. I messed it up. Sometimes that camera will shift on its own, which really messes you up. Thankfully, I still have a cat bell on me, so I can just go back and get the Tanuki that I used. And try again. So there we go. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is kind of hard. Sometimes if you turn early, you'll hit the lava like that. Fortunately, that might have just killed my PB. And there aren't really a lot of tricks like this that are real run killers in this game, but between this and 8-6 at the end of the run, it makes that late game quite scary. Especially getting these, I have to navigate around these guys getting the green coins, which is pretty scary. But now we just have to wait on this last guy, which sadly there is no skip for this auto-scroller. There are just no platforms over here that we could jump on. It's unfortunate. Walking on this block is scary, especially at the end of a run. Alright, so grab that last star. Alright. And just gonna slide down here, and then at the end of this, I'm gonna jump off of it. And there we go. Fortunately, I'm now behind after that by about 12 seconds. So now we're about to reach the very end of the run. There are 2 boss fights, which if you remember earlier, the 2 boss fights that had to do at the end of World 3 and World 6, I'm going to be doing them again. It's faster to do the left one first, which is boss block, or consider not using Peach, but I'll show you why you want to use Peach here. It's much safer, because this fight's a little different than the first fight. In that whenever, so first of all, he's gold, that's different. So when he jumps, he leaves these rings. I should grab that, just to be safe. He leaves these rings, and being able to float makes these rings much less scary. Ooh. Yep, that's why I get the cherry, because it would not have been nice to lose a catsuit there. But it wouldn't have been the end of the world, since in the next boss fight you can actually get a catsuit. Oh, and that's exactly what happened, it looks like. So yeah, there is a catsuit at the very beginning of the next boss. So don't need to be too worried, even though this is pretty annoying. Hopefully I'll be able to do that jump that I was talking about first time I fought Histocrat. And we'll want to use Luigi just like last time. So right here, there's a hidden block. And there's a catsuit. Alright. Alright. There we go. So I had to buffer that spin. When I was doing that long jump before the cutscene started, I just started spinning the stick as fast as I could. And then that buffered the spin so that I would start spinning at the end of the cutscene while also having the forward momentum from the long jump. So then I can do a really fast spin jump, which you normally can't do a spin jump going that fast. And gives you enough speed to reach the top of him. We grabbed the time. So this run's on pace to be a low 146. It's only plus 13 versus my PV. However, it was minus 4 minutes at one point, so I can't say I'm too thrilled about that, but you know, no reset run, not bad. And we have exactly 170 stars, thanks to the routing by people smarter than me, who do that for me, so I don't have to. And it's the last level now. Ooh, messed that up. You need to dive there in order to get onto there. I'm missing a cycle for that. A little unfortunate, but not the worst thing. And the rest of this game is basically an auto-scroller. But, probably wondering, you know, since it's this game, there's an auto-scroller, then there has to be some skips for it. And you would be right. Kind of. For some parts you'd be right. Not all of them. Specifically, not for this one. This one will have to be waiting around. There is another... There is something we can do while we're waiting, though. I'll show you in a bit. It's not very exciting, but, you know, it's better than nothing. And I can get one last green star, yeah! Yep, and get the coins, there's another green star. Yeah, Bowser's kind of just gonna be going up and down. Not really that scary. Not really worried. Getting to the end of it. And get to this POW. There's a POW block up here. So I'm just gonna be holding forward, and there we go. Bowser's dead. End of the run. Who'd I fool with that one? Be honest, who'd I fool? Nah, it's not over yet. Like I said, we'll get to see some cool auto-scroller skips. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna align myself right here. And I'm just gonna be jumping and climbing. Oh, wow. I guess I messed it up. I wasn't far enough to the left. Alright, so messed it up unfortunately. But there we go. I got to do parts of it. Again, you know, kind of like Fuzzy Time Mine, I'm blind, so I can't see there's something in the way. Oh, wow. That's why I got the checkpoint earlier. So that I wouldn't have to redo this entire level. Not a place where I normally die. Luckily, we can get a catsuit from this guy if I can ever stop him. Alright, let's try to do this. Try to do a proper auto-scroller skip. There we go. Yeah, that's what it should look like. And again, there's another little auto-scroller skip right here that I'm gonna do. Where did I land? Oh, whoops. Well, that's what it should look like. Oh. And then one last auto-scroller skip. Once I get up here. Ooh. Well, I guess we're not gonna end with a catsuit. And that is the end of the Meowser fight, because he's a cat, so he's Meowser. Would have been able to see it in the cutscene, but I skipped that. Actually, interesting thing about Wii U is that the cutscene, you can't skip that cutscene like you can in this game, but you can go around the cutscene trigger using cat momentum along with the Tanuki. And it's a pretty cool trick. Sadly, it's not possible in this game. You'll just die if you try to do it. But it's not as big of a problem in this game because since, you know, you can skip the cutscene. So it's not really that much slower to not have that. Oh, also, I forgot to stop the timer. Timer ends on the flagpole grab. I was too busy talking. I forgot to hit time. So yeah, there we go. That is Super Mario 3D World for the Switch, any percent, in 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 15 seconds. Or like 13 or 14 seconds, because, you know, I split kind of late. But, yeah, I would really love to run this game at GDQ. I think it would be very, very exciting for the viewers, especially because, you know, this game was just released a few months ago, and it'd be cool to show off how this run's different than run on the Wii U version. Lots of optimizations have been made using this game's new engine, and I would love it if that could be shown off. So yeah, submitting this as a race with movefish. And I think that